Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So today we'll see one more concept in our computer networks, that is address resolution protocols. So in our previous sessions we are discussing about the internet control protocols. In that already we have seen ICMP protocol and IGMP protocol. So one more protocol that comes under the internet control protocol is an ARP, address resolution protocol. So let us start the session. ARP, so which stands for address resolution protocol. So here the name itself indicates address resolution, so address should be changed. So what kind of address? So this address resolution means mapping of IP address to MAC address. So we discussed in the earlier sessions like IP address is a logical address and MAC address is a physical address. So for every physical device there will be a unique MAC address, so it will not be changed. But coming to the IP address, that's a logical thing. Okay, so the IP address can be changed. So the mapping should be done between IP address and the MAC address, and this mapping will be done by using this address resolution protocol. So here discussing about IP address and a MAC address, we know that IP address is in a network layer, and MAC address is in data link layer. So that means this address resolution protocol works in between the network layer and the data link layer. Okay, so ARP, that is the address resolution protocol, works in between the network layer and data link layer. See, in order to receive the data or send the data, the sender have to know both the logical address and the physical address. So only knowing the logical address is not sufficient to send the data to the destination. So the sender have to know both logical address as well as physical address. So just now we have seen what is a logical address. Logical address means IP address already that will be done in the network layer and it will be routed. The packet will be routed in the network. So now the packet comes to the local area network. So it will be routed to the correct local area network where the destination system is resides. Okay. So logical address means IP. Physical is a MAC. So what happens? So immediately whenever the data, so knowing about the IP address, the packet will be routed to the LAN in which the IP address is available. So here in order to receive the data, it have to know, the sender have to know the MAC address. So because the MAC is a physical address, so that gives the exact computer or exact device to which the data has to be transmitted. So that will be done by this address resolution protocol. So we'll see how it will be finding the MAC address after reaching to the LAN. So this ARP will be working on only within the LAN itself, only within local area network, right? So let us check what is the procedure. Okay, how the packet or how the sender knows the MAC address of the destination. So it will send a few messages. So first the sender reaches to the LAN. Okay, the sender sends the packet and it will be reached to the LAN because it knows the IP address. Now sender sends ARP request. So this is important. It sends the ARP request Okay, so which is a broadcast message, which is a broadcast message. So I think all of you know about the broadcast message. That means sending the message to every device which is connected towards the LAN. So that is a broadcast. Every computer, the same message will be sent to the every computer that has been networked in the LAN. So it says, this request says, so tell me the MAC address which IP address is some 192.168.10.1, for example. Okay, let us take one simple IP address. So this is the ARP request. What's the ARP request? So the sender sends the ARP request to everyone, so broadcast. So like a similar kind of message like, tell me the MAC address, which IP address is, which system is having the IP address. So which system is having IP address so and so. So it was asking about the MAC address. So now I am having some IP address. I need to know the MAC address. So what happens? Immediately the system, the destination system responds to sender by giving its MAC address. So obviously one system, the destination will be having the MAC address and that particular IP address. So that particular system will respond to the sender, so for this message, by giving its MAC address. Okay, so this is a unicast. This is a unicast. That means it will send only one message, okay, to the sender. So here this is called as a ARP reply. So first one is a ARP request. ARP request is a broadcast message, and ARP reply is a unicast message. So it will respond to the message which was sent by the sender. Next one. So once the MAC address was there, what happens? Immediately the sender stores the MAC or the mapping. So here mapping means IP address to MAC address, mapping into ARP cache. So similar kind of table, okay, table which consists of all the IP addresses and MAC addresses. So the mapping will be stored in ARP cache, because if it wants to send one more message, it doesn't require this broadcast and unicast. Directly it will check with the ARP cache and it will send the message directly to the destination. So actually this is the first step. That means the first step is sender checks mapping in ARP cache. So first whenever the sender sends the data and it reaches to the LAN, immediately it will check the mapping in ARP cache. If it is there, directly the data will be sent to the destination. If it is not there, then the ARP request will be sent, and then ARP reply will be there, and then the mapping will be done, and now data transmission will be done. Now the data transmission will be done. Okay, right? So I'll write the steps, don't worry. So this is the step 1. I'm extremely sorry because I have written the steps in a jumbling order. So step 1, sender checks the mapping in the ARP cache. If it is not there, then step 2, sender sends the ARP request, and step 3, sender gets the response. And then step 4, sender stores the mapping into the ARP cache, and step 5. See, very important, just observe the steps. Okay, so step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and step 5. This happens in the ARP. Now there is a mapping between IP address and the MAC address, so the data will be transmitted from source to destination. So very important point, in order to send the data in the network, it requires both logical address and physical address. So logical address is used to reach the local area network, and in that local area network, in order to find the device, so it requires the MAC address, right? So this is about our address resolution protocol. And there is a one more protocol, very simple protocol, that is a reverse address resolution protocol. See, hope you understood this one. So just take care about these steps 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now, so this is how the data will be sent to the destination. So it requires both IP and MAC. Now the next one, very small protocol, which is a RARP. RARP. So RARP means reverse address resolution protocol. Reverse address resolution protocol. So what it happens means, now the device is having the MAC but it doesn't know the IP address. Okay, the reverse of the ARP. So system know the IP, sorry, know the MAC, but don't know the IP address. So this case is called as a reverse address resolution protocol. Okay, so getting the IP address by knowing the MAC. So here, sorry, the system sends a RARP request. So here also the same request, which is a broadcast, so it will be sent to everyone in the network. So telling, this is my IP, sorry, MAC, this is my MAC address, what is my IP. So this kind of message will be sent to every device. Then server checks with a database for mapping and responds to the system. So this is a unicast. So this is a unicast, which is also called as RARP reply. This is a unicast. So in this way, the system will be knowing about the corresponding IP address. Okay, so the address resolution protocol and reverse address resolution protocol. Okay, so I think all of you understood about this concept, very simple and a very important concept. So this is also, these two things, these two protocols comes under the internet control protocols. So we have already seen 4 protocols so far: ICMP, IGMP, as well as ARP and RARP. So these are the 4 protocols comes with the internet control protocol, right? So let's stop here, and if you are having any queries regarding this one, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. And if you really enjoyed the session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.